Michael Kelly, author of the book Donald Trump versus the United States, had an interesting take on, well, actually, it's not his take. It is former Chief of Staff John Kelly's take on Donald Trump. He didn't know that Donald Trump was as stupid as he is. He didn't know that they made people in the mold of Donald Trump with that amount of ineptitude and ignorance. You got to listen to what this guy had to say again, and then we'll take it on the other side.
I want to ask you separately, of course, about the additional reporting you did and the writing you did in the paperback edition of your book, which goes in depth into John Kelly. And when he was the longest serving chief of staff in the earlier part of the Trump presidency, and the things he was dealing with, including some startling information in your reporting about what the former President Trump proposed doing with Kim Jong-un in North Korea, a nuclear weapon.
So for the paperback of my book, I wrote a 12,000-word biography of sorts of John Kelly that looks at his history and his time working directly for Trump. And it tells the story of someone who came in as chief of staff thinking that Trump needed to have better process around him. He needed to be staffed better. There needed to be a better system in the West Wing run, and that would keep Trump on track. But hours and just days into Kelly's tenure, he realized that the problem was far greater than that the problem was Trump. And Trump was stupider, more impulsive, more limited than he ever thought. Kelly later told someone who I talked to that he didn't know they made human beings like that about Trump. And the biggest issue that Kelly was concerned about was whether Trump, who was using highly incendiary language about North Korea at the time, publicly and privately, was going to set off a massive military conflict. And I tell the story of how this chief of staff, who had no one else to call, no one else to really help him, and was spending his days with Donald Trump, tried to get him off of that because he thought that war was a very distinct possibility, given the highly charged nature of the public statements both Trump and the North Koreans were making.
And Mike, did he once talk about actually using a nuclear weapon?
So at one point in Trump was talking publicly. He was saying Little Rocket Man and Fire and Fury and these different statements. But in private, Trump was also saying things that were scary. And one of the things he cavalierly discussed was, could we use a nuclear weapon and just blame it on another country? And it just shows you sort of Trump's limited understanding of such a massive use of power and the implications of it, and the idea even that a president would privately discuss that. A president privately discussing that, and if the North Koreans had a way of finding out about that, it would have really scared the North Koreans to know that Trump was saying that in private.
It would have scared the Americans, too. Michael Schmidt, such great reporting. And the book is Donald Trump versus the United States, now out in paperback.
This is mind-blowing. And, right now we're hearing all these things, and you have to wonder, the people that were surrounding Donald Trump, why didn't they use the 24th Amendment to get rid of this guy? This guy was always going to be a clear and present danger to America. Now, he got a whole lot of Americans killed as it is. And now we understand that he was even thinking about using nuclear bombs and otherwise. This guy, we dodged the bullet. And to think that there are so many in this country that would vote for this guy again, it's mind-boggling. It's completely mind-boggling. And what it would do, however, is remove make it permanent that we are no longer the country that so many looked up to. I can't believe it. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.